US launched strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan, escalating tensions in the Middle East. Yet, despite Iran's calls for support, no nation has come to its defense. Why is Iran so isolated? First, Iran's once powerful axis of resistance, its network of proxies like Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis, has been severely weakened. The 2020 US drone strike that killed Qasem Soleimani, Iran's top commander, crippled its ability to coordinate these groups effectively. Hezbollah faces domestic pressure in Lebanon, while the Houthis in Yemen have limited capacity after a US deal curbed their Red Sea attacks. Hamas, too, is stretched thin. These proxies, once Iran's strength, can't offer meaningful support now, leaving Tehran without regional muscle to rally allies. Second, major powers like Russia and China, often seen as Iran's allies, have stayed quiet. Russia, bogged down in Ukraine, relies on Iranian drones, but can't afford to back Tehran militarily. It's already overstretched. China, a major buyer of Iranian oil, just struck a trade deal with the US and won't risk economic ties over Iran's conflict. Both condemned the US strikes verbally but offered no concrete support. Even Pakistan, which called the strikes disturbing, stopped short of aiding Iran, prioritizing its own stability after nominating Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. These powers see Iran as a liability, not an asset. Third, the world largely agrees a nuclear-armed Iran is a threat. The US and Israel justified the strikes, citing Iran's uranium enrichment to 60% purity, close to weapons grade. While the IAEA says Iran wasn't building a bomb, many nations, including US allies like the UK and Qatar, urged diplomacy but didn't defend Iran's nuclear program. Saudi Arabia, a regional rival, condemned the strikes but fears Iran's ambitions more. Even Iran's neighbors see its nuclear pursuit as destabilizing, isolating it further. Finally, Iran's own actions have alienated potential allies. Its hardline stance, missile attacks on Israel, and threats to close the Strait of Hormuz, a critical oil route, have painted it as a provocateur. The US strikes, seen as a betrayal during nuclear talks, hurt Iran's case, but its refusal to negotiate until after retaliation has stalled diplomacy. European nations, the UN, and even neutral players like Qatar urged restraint, not support. Iran's rhetoric, calling the US lawless, hasn't won sympathy, as most nations prioritize stability over backing a regime seen as unpredictable. So, why does Iran stand alone? Its proxies are weakened, major powers prioritize their own interests, the world fears its nuclear ambitions, and its aggressive stance has burned diplomatic bridges. The US strikes have exposed Iran's isolation, and with retaliation looming, the Middle East braces for more tension. What's next for Iran?